the kata move, it takes in consideration pressure points, angle and direction. I got one here. Look. This is a big guy. This guy's 260 pounds. Okay? You people earn the arm points today, right? Yes? Yes, sir. If I just touch this arm point, what is this? Positive. Is this positive? Yes? What is this? Negative. What is this? Negative. It's negative. What is that? How many people do an augmented block? How many people do that? You have a copy you go like this. Everybody, you know. Sure. And they tell you augmented block. I tell you on my videotape that doesn't augment anything. I tell you on my videotape they call that an augmented block, and I make a little joke. I say, run out and look that up in your Funk and Wagner. That's a dictionary. Everybody thinks that this is dirt. It's a dictionary. Funk and Wagner. Augmented block. Augment means to help. It ain't helping anything out here. But if I touch this point with negative on the positive part of the arm, and I touch that point with negative on the positive side of the face, doesn't that look like an augmented block? Yes? Yes. And the two short him out. This is a 260-pound guy. I did this to him last week, and he said it was okay to do it this week, because this makes it as clear as not that these are not blocks. You've got to keep your jaw shut. I'm going to lock with this. Augmented block. Oh! See the size of those pupils? Okay, you can sit there, man. That's one of Dan's students, right, Dan? Give him a round of applause. The positive to fire the electricity. Then you just touch the negative and short out behind the head. Come on, Bill. Come on, Bill.
Sorry. Bill's from Illinois. Let's give him a hand.
Yes. Okay, now the minute we're finished, you see Mrs. Dillman do some restoration. Okay? We'll go over Mike Selecki. Give him a round of applause. Come out now. I'll calm down a little bit.
His leg came all the way from Florida.
I'm working on one on the back. We have a movement that kind of goes like this. You pay attention from Idaho. Get up here and see this. You do this and move in the kata, and I made fun of it today that, you know, your opponent's bend your arm up behind your back. You're really mapping out on your back where you attack your opponent. If I activate the wrist pressure points, if I activate the triple warmer, which is behind the arm, the triple warmer sets up the kidney. If I'm 2 inches above the kidney, 4 inches in from the spine, I actually come off the triple warmer, and I am doing that to my opponent. I'm not doing this behind my back. I'm showing on my back where it will activate my opponent by coming off the triple warmer. Now, I sometimes sneak in a second hit, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want it that deep or hurt. But I usually will hit the triple warmer, and I will come in with this type of technique, which is also in the kata. That was light.
Give Ed Lake a hand from
I said
Florida.
it would be light.
Ed's featured in several of Mr. Dillman's videos.
Where's Tinnen? Bring me Tinnen. Where's Larry? I only want to show these. Come up here, Larry. I want to show these to. I want to show these to Professor Jay and Remy Presas because they've never seen some of these. They're on my greatest hits album.
See, you heard that? Jim said that.
I need a catch. I need somebody to catch. I need somebody to catch on this one. Yes, two. Yeah, you keep it hitting the floor. You full legs. You stay back. This move's for the Ishin rule. How many Ishin rules? Okay, this is the move out of your kata. This is the move out of your kata. This goes in the ribs and catches the nerve. That's what we call internal, and we rub or touch it. We explained it over in the advanced session, but now we're going to try to demonstrate it. Keep your feet still. It's done in the ribs, so unless you move around this way, I don't know you're going to see it. Now look in the mirror. Get back there. Get back in there.
I'll be right here.
You're all right. I'm protecting you.
Okay.
Huh? Is that it's okay now?
Give Larry Tennant from Georgia School in Pennsylvania.
You're not to try that at home. He'll be okay. That closes down the abdominal system. So that one can make you feel like you've been electrocuted is what can happen. It closes down all the lower abdominal region. It sometimes can cramp the legs, almost paralyze the legs. And it's done with touches.
Down and down.
Right here. Arm body stands up. This point's not good, he's not got no hair here. But I do this, he don't feel it. But when I catch him here, he feels it. Your jaw, nice big jaw like this, keep your teeth together. He's probably weak right here. Oh, you okay? Sorry? Sorry, you okay? Okay, just sit down a minute. Just sit down a minute. So I was right. You okay? In other words, I will pick up when I see you where you're weak, and that's where you're going to get it. You don't know. I'm not going to announce it to you. I'm just going to do it. If we're in a fight, you touch me, I'm touching you where you're weak. If that don't work, then I'm in a heap of trouble. Then I'm going to do whatever else I need to do. But he would get it there. He would have got it on the head. He didn't know that. I bet you didn't know in your life you were weak. Yes?
Yes.
He can take a shot here, but he can't take it there. You all right? No, he's not. Okay, sit down. But what I'm telling you is, if I do this, if he grabs me and I go like this, and now I hit him with that, you could injure him bad. You saw him drop from just the hit. This nerve sets up the cranial nerves, and then if you hit him in the cranial nerves, they're going to close out on you. But
to the chest, cross-stepping through, the backhand to the side. We're going to go push, we'll grab with the hands, pulling up on the small page, activate the small intestine. As we cross-step, we'll activate the nerve, grab to the wrist points, striking to the neck.
good.
From here, I'm going to be going to move to Shimjang, or it could be Basai, working off the triple warmers. From here, grab, pulling up, releasing, striking to triple warmer, and striking gallbladder 20 in the back. And then. Okay, from here, if you grab, somebody's going to punch, working off the heart and lung on the wrist. If the punch comes out, you can do the arm, taking the arm out, make it a ridge hand. But from here, I'm just going to do an upset knife hand, striking the gallbladder 20, using stomach, heart and lung.
Kata. This comes with a back stance, double out of knife hand, strike. Okay, we're going to work off the wrist points. To learn about, we're going to attack stomach 9 on the neck.
Mr. Dillman talked about this one a little earlier, and he picked this man and I and said that I can't do this to him because I'm too short. I'm going to use a move out of the Basai Kata, and I'm going to step on his foot to bring him down to knock him out. Also, the step on the foot is going to set up the points on his forehead. So this is the move here. I'm just going to leave this hand out for the moment. So there's a step on the foot.
Style through automatic block. I did that for years, didn't have a clue what it was for. So I said, I'm not going to use it. Now I find out how I can use it. Two grabs, and I can work on intestine here, lung here. Doing that will then allow me to go to gallbladder and intestine back here. That will allow me to set him up. This actually being used only on arm and body.
I'll keep his jaws shut.
I'm only going to torque it. I'm not really going to hit him. I'm going to be nice. Lung, large intestine.
Work this out of Sanshin off the double arm grab and I'm going to tap here on the large intestines and then I'm going to come up for gallbladder and small intestine here. Okay.
Your jaws shut.
Looks like the move comes here, punches like that, and we do that kata, your hands are here.
I like it running kid. I like it running kid. Let's go to the For real? Yeah. Show the move. Show the move. How many want to see him do this? That's stomach, stomach, and stomach.
Stomach. Stretch the person out, stretch them out and strike.
Now keep your jaw shut, guy.
We'll go from off the push or whatever, we'll do this and stretch them here, scoop here and back. Again, I'm not
He's not going to touch it. Keep your jaw shut.
Your jaw shut.
Okay, this is out of Kata Suyuchin. After we were explaining this earlier, well then after that he steps back and does this. And one night in class, I was having him push. First we were doing here, but a lot of people push shoulders. And so especially with the Grandmaster here, he's got big hands, right? Notice he has big hands, big gloves. As I turn into here, I want to step back, especially since I'm short, and then catch it down into here. catch up on Archie testing up here and put back. Look how he puts his neck in here all the time. Keep everything here. Okay.
Move out of my side, hands cross here, and I'm going to use forehead gallbladder point, and I want to show you using the wake-up point to do damage. Have I had a good time? Yes, Next time we were here, we did a little bit on revival. And this is a wake-up nerve. If you feel in the groove on the back of your own neck, on either side, there's a nerve right here. Right there. That's where they're tapping. When someone is out, you take all of the fingertips and you kind of get them between that hole like that. And then that.
John the Wolfman. He is a bouncer from one of our local watering holes. Very nice person. We try to knock out on him. What I try to do is to work with techniques that I can work with in the street. And some of you come out and see me maybe do the same knockout several times over with different people. So I want to get that down so I can work that with almost anyone. And I'll take 2 or 3 knockouts and I'll work with them and maybe no others. Maybe that's wrong, but I'll take the ones that I feel comfortable with. I'm going to try one today. I'd like to say that this knockout involves a principle that I learned from George Dillman years ago. That is, if you're being attacked, you move to the 45. He's attacking me. I move to the 45. I brush, grab. Okay, and we're going to use this point that George used, Mr. Dillon used.
Gallbladder
31. Gallbladder 31. Okay. When I come in, when he strikes, parry, grab, kick, he'll turn his head, hit.
You get out of the way. Well, we get these on camera and you can't see that the guy's out. You see somebody's in front of us. Oh, I know he was out. I don't think anybody has doubt. Yeah, I don't think he has any doubt that he was out. Does everybody have doubt?
I went to the 45. I went to the 45, in which case when I did, I removed all his weapons. Okay? Robert Kennedy come out.
Robert Kennedy? The one? Bob's another individual. I'm not cutting him, but Bob's not that big. Bob, if he were studying any other system of karate, would not be talking about knocking people out so easy. Would you, Bob? And he's told me that. He said, I'd be looking to out-punch these guys and outdo this and outdo that. Look at the size of this guy as compared to Bob. And now, people in our organization are just openly talking about knocking people out with this, knocking people out with that. This can be done all over the body.
Okay, you might say, well, okay, you went to the 45-degree angle. When he struck at me, I went to 45, okay? He can't kick me, he can't hit with the other hand, I've taken his weapons away, right? Then you might say, well, what would happen if there was a doorway there, you were standing in the doorway, you couldn't go to the left, or couldn't go to the right, or maybe you had a pretty girl on either side of you, and you want to get wallowed down, and you want to be wallowed down the floor with this pretty girl, right? Or would you? So, tighten up so I don't.
Trying to take my humor.
So, if he's standing here, I can't go to the left, I can't go to the right. So in that case, I'd be in here, I gotta take him out in here. And as George Dillman's pointed out many times, you really ain't got, if you don't know pressure points, you've got no business in here against a man his size. Okay? You wanna try to go to the 45 always, but sometimes you might not be able to. In which case, if you couldn't, Dr. Dave Taylor, one of my students, Dave Peterson, Shanahan Self-Defense School.
Dr. Dave Taylor is going to be featured in my third book doing one of his knockouts.
Probably this one.
Yes. I think you're the guy too, I remember.
This is a kind of a touchy type of knockout. It works best with the opponent's arms outreached like that, so that everything is stretched out up in this area, makes it more vulnerable, works better, rather than having them down like this. It's not quite as active. But the move is just very simple. It's just that right there. And it incorporates a little Wally J movement with the finger, small circle, in which we do a little qoute on the collarbone. That area right through there. We're probing stomach and kidney. Stomach 12 and kidney 27. We do a little small circle on the collarbone. As we do the small circle on the collarbone, what you're looking for is a reaction with the knee where the knee buckles a little bit. And so that alone can be a very nice little grappling move to take the guy down. Now, if that's not sufficient, then we can add another point, give a nice knockout, and that point will be underneath the arm on heart 2. And so the move then is just like this. I'm not going to use the cat, I'll just stay flat-footed. But if you wanted to really do it, you'd go like that. So the first move is he attacks, you reach up and you tweak the collarbone, his knee will buckle, his arms will rise, and you tap heart 2, and he'll fall out. And he'll go straight down. So he's streached, he's crunched.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one. I left here the last time I saw that. I went down.
Right, stay back. It's very basic knockout from a basic technique that we all do, down block. Be from one of our katas, Taikyoki, a 1. Same thing, a person could grab or he could punch, whatever. You parry it off and torque. Same thing we were working on earlier today, the triple warmer. Smacking the triple warmer, and as you're coming down, just sliding off in the gallbladder. Triple warmer's fire, gallbladder's wood. They fall into each other. Speed, good puncher. Parry it, grab, torque, put the person down like that. Open palm.
He's definitely gone. Good.
Our Kramer, come forward and do a technique.
Do you have somebody cornered to do?
Oh, there you are. I'm looking for you back there. Where's Kenny? Hi.
This is Kenny Phillips.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little technique. It's just it's basically how to get a headlock. Actually, I got it from watching Wally J, and I saw where his hands went, and I just connected the line. And I'll be attacking conception. So he puts me in a headlock like this. What I'm gonna work, there's a lot of different things I can do. I can attack gallbladder on the side. I can knee behind, bladder behind the leg, kick bladder behind the calf, come to the other side of the ribs and get gallbladder this way or liver. But what I'm going to do is what I saw Professor J do, how to take the guy out of the fight real fast. Is he snuck the hand in here, I get conception vessel here,
This guy's known as a killer.
This technique just illustrates the use of 2 points up and down the center line in conception vessel meridian. It just shows an example of interruption of energy, and it's actually known as the woodpecker technique. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show where the points are at. They're right here on the chin, right here under the lips, beside the nose, the eyebrows, and the gallbladder points. Right here. And what we're going to do, we're just going to have to do that. Just like that. We won't put him quite out. I picked this up from him. It's the same thing. What I'm going to do is grab the gallbladder points on this side and torque the meridian, and then just tap gallbladder behind here. So it's using cross sides and yin and yang. So if he actually reaches out to grab, I'll just do.
Oh, gee, look how he stiffs. Puts him out. The legs freeze.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's pretty light.
Yeah, well, that's what's good about it. That's the nice thing, is the light. In other words, everybody can put more into it and then hurt the individual more.
In the hanchi, actually, it's a defense against someone doing a wrist takedown, or even the first one. If I'm stupid enough to do this in someone's face, or if something happens and he ends up grabbing my wrist, if I go to push and he doesn't hear, first what I want to do is shoot my arms through and punch down, okay, and get my hands right through into here. Move back. Again.
Show it to the camera.
After your turns. As this is into here, and as he's trying to apply his technique, I'm going to shoot into here. I have heart and small intestine under here, and I have metal up on top of the arm. I'm to shoot down. Okay, if I can't get inside, which I'm going to do next, I can just come into here and take him down doing this from the hanchi. Okay? Now what I'm going to do, when he goes to do the technique, I step in, I do this. I'm going to step and sweep his leg like in the, you go into horse stance in the hanchi. Take him back up. Full stability. As I come in, I do this, I step, I sweep the leg. I want to catch here on gallbladder and catch here.
Whoa. Well, that was good. That was excellent. Yeah. You can see if he did that harder, boy.
And that's in the cut, and that's this. On. The hands go up this way and then do this. Okay? And kata's supposed to, kata's a, no, I'm not doing that. Kata's a reminder. So I could almost do that like this. And point right at this hard point right into here. As he pushes, I'm to hit down onto here and do this and reach out like this. Then the hands go to the other side for into here where we can use the back and forward, which is what we were using earlier. Principle behind this, he pushes, metal, up on the arm, hard up into here to get him to bend. I catch, get together, and just do.
Oh, turn him, he's still out.
And I forgot gallbladder, it's on the back.
All right, this is the Pinon kata. Crosses like this. It's a simple technique, and I take Dan because of the hair. It's the hair. But he grabs and pulls me in like that. And what I'll do with this hand is I'll go to the opposite quadrangle and take my knuckle and dig it in gallbladder. Pull to here and just tap on the stomach meridian. So we'll do it right from here. Stomach 5. Like this. Okay. The next move we're going to do is out of Kata Sun Tzu. The move goes like this. It turns, does a block and a kick chop, and a move like this. We're not gonna do the whole move though.
Yeah, oh jeez.
No. We're just gonna do part of it, but this we're gonna do if he's coming around the back. I stop like this. I can turn and activate the inside leg, we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna turn. You're not supposed to say that. You're ruining it.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna turn and chop gallbladder here and tap it again. When he falls,
Whoa. Good. Keep in mind, that would all be done
this is,
he's from here.
this is Jim Dugan. He's one of my black belts. He's gonna demonstrate a knockout on Pat White.
You see, it's not. You know your showboat and gonna keep doing it.
Just gonna punch, you're gonna chop the arm, dizzy the head, and then hit in the back here. There's 4 points, 2 in front and 2 in back, and when the head's dizzy, these points stand up. But they only do that when the head's dizzy. So he's gonna punch, he can dizzy the head on any point up here, and then get down, try this.
Whoa. Did it. You barely touched it, that was good.
Trying to pick them.
Everything I do is pretty much basic. Because everybody wants to mess with me, they can either grab me by the arm, okay? Just how to say son, okay? Or they can grab me by the lapel. It doesn't matter. I'm still gonna cut across. I'm gonna go long, I'm gonna go up and then down.
Whoa.
Okay.
You just reverse the energy strike. Get up, energy stops there, and then they connect going down.
I teach that to women, a lot of women self-defense for.
School, and so when you practice with people, you can't be knocking them out all the time. So what I've tried to work on, to start with, is when the person's attacking you, work on the techniques until they come right in to the point. And it seems like it helps because you're moving on the attack. You can attack me as fast as whatever you want, and I try to put it right on the point. And that works pretty good, but then to get the knockout, what I'm going to use is it's the one where you were using the head in, you're coming around. But it works pretty good if you just.
We were here. You don't know how proud we are of all these people and how far they've come. I mean, if some of you remember back when they were just learning this, now they're developing their own knockouts, and they're teaching other people. They're spreading the word. They've come a long way with the pressure point work. We promoted Mark Kramer. I see Mark Kramer, boy, just double his karate, and he's written me letters and how much it's meant to him because of his size. He wrote and he told me, he says, the blocking and punching wouldn't have done me any good ever. So what we're gonna do is, we've got a promotion to make, and this is for Bill Holman, and he's promoted to the rank of 6th degree black belt. These diplomas, by the way, when we do the high-ranking diplomas, they're signed by a board of recognized masters. Sometimes you get a diploma that's signed by your instructor, but you go anywhere in the world and they don't know who he is. And in Okinawa or any of the Oriental countries, when they promote somebody, they put together a board of people to do it. They get 4 or 5 people. If you see somebody out of Okinawa and he's a 9th or 10th degree black belt, he'll probably have a diploma in his dojo or his house signed by 4 or 5 other people that are that rank or higher. And that's how they look at it as being official. In fact, they'll put together a board in Okinawa of 5 grandmasters, and 3 out of the 5 have to vote yes for you to get your promotion. They don't all have to, but 3 out of the 5 have to vote yes. And these diplomas that Bill got, and these ones are going out now, are signed by Professor Wally J., a man named Leo Fong, A lot of you have met Leo, but he's well known all over the world. He's done karate movies, but not only that, he's an instructor of the martial arts. And Remy Presas has signed these, and myself. So as you can see, there's a whole board of masters on here, and most of them are some of the most recognizable names in the entire world. And this promotion goes to the guy hosting this seminar, and his 6th-degree black belt, and it's Bob Golden. And the next one, and the rank is 6th-degree black belt, goes to Greg Dillon. I should give this to Mrs. Dillon. She has to put up with Dillon. We joke with these guys because I think out of all of them, we become more friends. You know, it's not like a student instructor, but we're all buddies. We go places and do things together. Jack Hogan once said to some of the instructors at DKI, I'd be their friend even if they weren't in karate, even if they weren't in DKI, because you got some really good guys in your group. And he told me that about Bob and Greg. And next one we're going to do is Jim Korn, and he goes to the rank of 6th-degree black belt. Show the diplomas. These guys have really come, I think, the furthest with the pressure points, because they're not only they're doing their own research. They're developing their own knockouts. They're coming up with their own ideas, their own techniques. But more than that, they're spreading the word around their sections of the country and around the country. And these are some good guys. We'll pose for pictures. The minute we're done, we'll hold the diplomas, take shots. And anybody else wants pictures, we'll do that. Give them a round of applause. She's 11 novels. She's got her 12th novel in the computer. She has her 12th one coming out. She's the one that did the novel Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile. And she just told us her 12th novel that's in the computer just sold to what, ABC Television? Sold to ABC Television. They're going to make a movie. The book's not even finished. It's going to be out in a book. It's going to be on TV. And this is the lady I told you about. You're going to want to get a copy of her book and get her to autograph it while she's here. She's a very famous individual. Some of you don't know, but she's beautiful too. Her name is Catherine Lanigan. Give her a round of applause. That's how I got to meet her. See, she's so famous, I wouldn't have met her. She had to marry him, then I got to meet her. So if you get the book, we have a table set up. She has some of her books. It's dedicated. The book is dedicated to Bill, so get them both to autograph it. Okay? Everybody have a good time today? This will show you angle and direction. In the advanced seminar, I did those dots, and I did one up that direction, shooting for the moon. How many saw that? Okay. This one requires these two dots to touch those two dots, and it needs nothing more than this. You'll see a kata, one of the higher katas, that go like this. It just goes like that. It just goes like that. You won't understand the technique, but when I match up these two dots with those two dots, it goes like that. The person's out. They only have to touch and connect right with the right angle and direction. If it were a bigger and a stronger person, I would do it harder. In other words, it would be a true ridge hand. This technique done very hard in the same area, there is a chance of killing the individual because it would be done like that with a ridge hand in and down. So if somebody takes the technique, but you can't do that technique mildly. This is the most difficult knockout I ever had to do. And I had to learn this one first. And I had the most difficult time with it. And I take these two dots and I match those two dots, and I only have to do this. Let him drop, let him drop. He's out. No, let him up. Now get him up. Did everyone see how light? I mean, you talk touch. That was as light as touch. Wait, he's still not back. Yeah. I want you to go over there and he's going to work on you. Okay? Go with Jack right over there. Can you stand? Time. He could not use the arm. If you were in my advanced session, you witnessed it. I just want to do nothing more than show you the augmented block, because we have a lot of different styles here, and they show an augmented block, and an augmented block is cranking on this point this way and tapping on stomach 5 that direction. It looks like an augmented block. There's nobody would ever use this for self-defense. But if a person this big grabbed you and had you like this, and you closed it on this point, you keep your jaw together, and I just do one knuckle on the other side of stomach 5. I want to crank this way and this way at the same time. Whoa! Get him up. Get him up. Cross his legs.
Professional catchers. Went down a little over the line.
Hands come up. Foot pops down, we rotate our hands through. I devise knockout using the chest area and attacking the spleen points. And one at the ankle. Down.
Gotcha. Easy. Now, kind of take your time.
Get his head straight.
Take
Get
it
his head
aside.
straight.
Get him.
Just keep it straight. Don't jerk it
There you
straight,
go.
James. Tap it.
That's the most important part.
What's amazing about that knockout is it comes when the ankle gets kicked. He didn't explain it enough. I want to make sure. Oh, yeah. And he gets the guy doesn't know when you kick him in the ankle, down the guy goes. He developed that knockout himself. I didn't teach him that. He just was going through my books. He said, this got to work. He came up to me at my seminar in Ohio, and he said, I think that'll work right out of Seisan Kata. And he dropped some guy down there like a rifle shot him. That's Lynn Carper. Give him a round of applause. He doesn't know this individual. He only met him today. Today. Lynn Carper came down from Ohio.
I'm going to show energy disruption on center line ready, conception vessel, governing vessel ready.
Kneel down. So that can see. No, not you.
What we're going to do is you can use any two-handed technique on any of these points, but I'm just going to kind of vibrate the points all the way up his head, and then he's just going to kind of fade back. So we're going to use this point here, 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 and here. We'll just go.
It was good enough you hit him. He calls that the woodpecker, actually. Just, no, that's, you got to stagger. You got him enough.
Grappling technique. Some of the katas you do, come up like this, the foot comes up, hands come out. If he comes in with a bear kata, that's it. I'm going to strike this all the way from here and here, and kick it back with that.
Ladder,
You'll be relaxed. So as he comes in, I'm just going to let him down.
Yep. It's best to let them fall. Sometimes they like stay there. It's best to let them fall so they don't twist their leg, ankle, or break their own leg.
It works good on the close end.
It's good. It's good. I was convinced. Sure he was.
Block, we're able to move out of Seiyushin. Just a simple technique. He's going to approach me. He can either grab me, okay, or he can get me by the lapel. And in a fight situation, I'm going to go down on the lung, bring his head down, grab the back quadrangle, his knee,
25.
He's out already. Forget his leg. The guy's still out.
I try to do that as light as I can just to show that.
That'd be beautiful. People that do a lot of fighting don't want to believe that this exists. That's because they haven't studied the human body. If you study the human body, you're not amazed at how strong it is, you're amazed at how weak it is. And this is Kyusho Jitsu, and it means 1 second fighting. It doesn't always mean he's out. But it means that when you've done your technique, he can't fight. There's many of these people, they don't go all the way out, but they're standing there and they're in a world of daze. And then you could hit them with another technique to injure. Let's get somebody else up. Dan McCuskey.
Okay, this is kind of a generic technique. We have a lot of American Kenpo around in our area, and they use a hand like this. Goju has a hand that comes out like this, and you can use it on either side. You can turn it this side, hit triple warmer, 16, and stomach 9. I wouldn't advise shooting up into stomach 9, in a little straighter, okay? You can do it on this side and in, and it works if you can set up anywhere on the arm and then touch and in.
If you're sitting up front here, you're saying these people are out, and their legs are gone. Yeah. Yeah, wasn't that beautiful? He was out.
I'm going to do a movement with a leg trap and 2 arm movements. I do some movements that are good for me because of the length of my arms, so everybody has to do what's best for them. It's the first movement out of Nahanchi Kata. We're dealing with a person that we're having an argument or whatever here, and he decides he's going to kick me in a street situation. If the guy doesn't do anything, he'll try to kick me in the groin. If I come over and trap that leg and squeeze, I'm trying to catch a triple yin point inside and the outside of the leg to get some yin and yang effect. I'm going to tap on conception vessel 14 and see my arm length, I'm good here. Although if you're shorter arm, you can jab this a little earlier to bring him forward to get him into your range a little better, but I just kind of hit him at the same time. I catch gallbladder 20 back here at the same time.
Oh, man. Well, I love
Kata, so usually on the end of this kata, we come back, and the way I learned it, I cross my hands like this and lean forwards. And the reason for leaning forwards can be if I'm grabbed like this, I can be the hands crossed, so one hand can be grabbing back here. I'm putting my head here and tapping back this way. So I'm touching gallbladder, gallbladder, stretching this way, and gallbladder points.
Whoa, he's out, he's out, he's out, he's going down like a baby. That was light. When you see those knees buckle, very good.
First out of it's called an iron wall block. Okay, the movement comes in, you step around, over. I'm going to hit stomach 41. The hand comes in, stomach 25, stomach 5. The move go in like this. Not quite that hard though. He's going to eat later, so I'm going to be off probably 1 1/4. I come in, I step on 41, bring him down.
One I like is actually Remy, just the block that counter. And you would numb the arm this way, grab the points here, and then shoot up this way. So
come down, strike into here. Since he's bigger, I'm gonna have to hit him much harder. This could be off a push. He pushes me. I want to catch up into here. I want to go out to horse stance and do this. One, we can just come across like this where the hands come back to the hip. You can just catch him in the stomach. This way, right up here. What we're going to do is we're going to take him here. I'm going to go like this. I want to reach around and grab the hair because the hand comes back this way to twist the neck. Okay? He's back into here. He's going to... Okay, pushes, catch, come down, twist up into here, put feet together.
If anybody gets any still shots of this, you make sure I get a look at the picture because I can use them in my book.
Counter a wrist lock. It's at an ahanchi. It's always this. This into here is telling me that with the hand turning, he's trying to twist me up. My hand punches down to counter that, and I'm doing it to here. And I'm going to do another part of the kata. As it comes in here, I have to step in, to shoot my hands out, come into here, which bends him. I'm going to step back and just take his legs out so he's right in front of me to catch right across. Here, come through, right into here. Oh.
Enough to volunteer when he found out I didn't have someone to demonstrate this on. I study Aikido down in Miami, and I've been following George around for a long time, and I was wondering how I could fit the moves, pressure points into the Aikido. We have one move we call Remy Nage, enter in and throw. He throws a punch, and I'll come here and I'll take him off his feet. So I said, gee, I wonder how I can fit some points into this one. Don't come out very hard because we're coming in very strong. So slow motion first. Come here, here, which brings his arm down. Attack here, and up here at the same time. Come past it.
Ah, hey!
Those hands went numb, didn't they?
From here, out of the tail, cuts like this and strikes. From a punch or a push or whatever, we're going to catch a triple warmer in the hard point. Here, get him in this position. And for real, we would punch call by the point of it. Attack here first. So that's for when you do this and you shuffle, bang. But we're just, instead of punching, I'm just going to palm. We don't we tap him here. Whoa. Yeah.
What they're doing and what kata it's from, or the motion of the move and the pressure points they're using, show everyone more or less in slow motion, then come back and do it. In the meantime, I can judge whether it's going to be a safe technique or not. So don't just go up and blast somebody, Bob.
Well, man. Okay. What I try to do is to make every technique I do a technique that will work for me, that I think in the street will work for me. Not something real fancy, because as Master Dillman says, and Wally J, only the simple techniques will save you. So I try to work with something that will work for me. So if you remember the last time we were here, I worked with a technique where he hit at me, I went over here, kick, point, hit the back of the head. Took him out. Then, I did another technique where I took another person, I hit gallbladder and stomach, and knocked him out. I explained that actually, you should always be on the 45-degree angle. You should always be to this side. This way, I rob him of his weapons. He can't hit me, he can't kick me, I'm over here where I can, and he's presenting the weakest part of his whole human body to me. The spleen area here is wide open for an attack. So a guy no bigger than I am, you gotta have everything going for you. This is one thing that has really put me in the front seat, these pressure points. They really, a little guy, you finally get a chance. Older person, can't beat it. At any rate, but this time, I'm gonna use the 3 yin points on the inside of the leg, the spleen and the liver point on the inside of the leg, and I'm going to do a move you've seen out of Kata. You see it in Nahanchi 2 and Shinto. Several different Katas, you see that move in. So a big guy like him, he's going to show you. He's going to, he's not going to mess around, right? So we got somebody up to catch him? So he's like this. I kick in here, get in here.
Wow, that was good. Bob came so far, I think, with the pressure point. I'm just amazed to watch him because his touch is beautiful. Just right, not a hard hit. Early on, he used to plow people. In fact, that's why I said don't knock him out right away, because we actually had a seminar in Terre Haute, Indiana. We had a crowd there, you remember that? And I said, I need somebody, and it was like Bob's first time. So he's nervous. And I said, I need somebody that wants to knock somebody out, and Bob goes, I'll do it. And I says, I need a volunteer. There was a guy like standing here that raised his hand. Bob turns around and just knocks him out. I'm telling you the truth. The guy still had his hand like this. and down he went. Nobody saw it. And half the people didn't see it because the guy went, yeah, I'll go. Zoom.
Normally, I'll knock out 3 or 4 people. I'm not going to do that. Let my students.
Go ahead, do what you want. Get whoever up. I'm just here to watch the
up,
show.
Let's bring up Dr. Dave Taylor.
Yeah, I'll do John Ventura.
John.
This is the one I had done last time with the stomach point on the collarbone and the kidney 27 point in front of the collarbone. And then as we get those 2 points to a small circle with the Wally J theory, you'll see the knee dip. And when the knee dips, then his next point, which is going to be a touch under a heart tooth, will cause him to knock out. Now, all these points become active when they're outreached and outstretched. So when they're down like this, they don't have that much of an effect. But when their arms are outreached, then they become ready to be activated. So let's do it from a choke, and he'll fall straight back to you. His knee likes to lock out on him when he goes, so get that fixed. So we'll get this stomach 11 and kidney 27 to kind of meet at the point. So the knee will dip and goes.
Wow. Wow, that's good. Make sure these guys are back and go up right. That is amazing, that knockout. In fact, actually, Dr. Taylor, I've used that
You're
now.
gonna do one more, okay? Sure, go ahead.
He taught it to me.
Sure.
Works great.
Yeah. Now this one is, I had learned from the last seminar how effective spleen points can be. So this one I got thinking about it because a friend of mine was telling me how she felt so helpless when someone put a bear hug on her, like that. And so her hand, she just felt so helpless. So I started thinking about what could be used for that. And so what we did is we used the 21, spleen 21, which is the last point in the meridian. And I stick my thumb in that point and torque, just like that. And then the third point is I step on the big toe and just put a little torque on the big toe. So you put the little toe under torque, and you put your two thumbs into spleen 21, and you'll go to sleep.
Glasses, Dave.
Now again, spleen 21 isn't all that active when the arms are down to the side, but they become very active when their arms are outreached in any direction like that, so they become more vulnerable to attack. So if you're going to play with that, when they're like this, you may not get much of a reaction. But this technique is from a bear hug. You step on the big toe, and just get on there so we're just lightly on it. Put a little torque on it so he feels it. Then get on the 21, and we just torque him, and we go,
That one you shouldn't play with too much. Doctor, he's worked in that.
I'm gonna work on a technique. Part of it is just gonna be like the first part. Every style, most basic movement is a down block. Every style does a down block. I'm gonna work with just somebody grabbing one-handed, striking on the lung meridian, and coming around and grabbing the hair like we were taught when Master Dillman started a long time ago to get that person to turn. And then if you're following the kata, you would know where your next punch is gonna be. But I'm just gonna take the person helpless here and show a next move that you can take from any other part of your kata. Now, if the person's grabbing you, like Mr. Dillman taught a long time ago, if the person's grabbing you with two hands, you'd strike on the outside on the large intestine meridians. So then I've got metal meridians, and then I'm attacking another metal meridian, large intestine up here. If the person's grabbing with one hand, which I'm going to work it on, I'm going to strike in on the lung meridian in this way to get the person to bend. Grab the hair, and if you grab the hair, hopefully you'll have the gallbladder meridian lit up in here. So then I've got metal and wood, yin on the lung, yang for the large intestine. So then I've got a yin-yang knockout, and also following the cycle of destruction, metal and wood.
I hadn't picked anybody. Get a volunteer. There's some guy in the back.
Like both Dusty and Mr. Golden said, for little men, for little people, this is fantastic. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take two different techniques out of Taiyoka 2 here and Taiyoka 4 with an elbow. I'm going to be polite. I'm not going to hit with the point of the elbow because, as Master Dillman said earlier, pressure points are the size of a quarter. The point of your elbow will fit in with no problem. By using the meaty portion, he may not go completely out, but he will be a little bit buzzed. Okay? He's going to be coming in from here. Technique comes up this way. No one's ever said we had to just hit. We can use our fingers to grab, and we'll be coming in. Okay?
Power Ranger Band-Aid.
This is out of Kata Sun Tzu. Moves like this and punches. We're not going to punch though. What we're going to do, when I do that kata, the hands are here and it comes back. That can be if the person has me like this. So that's why my hands are extended. And what I'm going to do is with this side, I'm going to attack large intestine on the arm. Here, attack gallbladder behind the head, so we have metal to wood. And then the punch would go for stomach, which is earth. But instead of punching, we'll just, so we're going to vary the move a little bit. So I squeeze here, tap.
Good. Give him a round of applause.
Sun Tzu also, he grabbed, when I come across, hit the inside of the arm here, gallbladder on the back, and the gallbladder on the head. I'm gonna grab, hit.
Oh, it's his, okay.
Yeah. And one comes up to the head. He's pointing at me. I'm going to grab the hand, the finger, pull it down here, hit the gallbladder again. So he points. I'm going to grab, come down.
Keep in mind that they're all doing the energy. To quick restore. Wake up nerve. Back here. They all give it a tap.
Showed a move where the guy would choke you, and you come around and go like this, just lay your hand right here. I said, well, that looks pretty good. Right. I said, so, talked to Bill. I said, that looks too good to be not. So I thought about in here, tapping down here. He said, well, that's the side. Right. So what we're going to do is he's going to choke, grab around, and hook that goju tendon, hook him here, and take right down here.
Whoa. You got a delayed reaction. You people couldn't see that, I don't think. There was a whole delayed reaction coming up from the feet. Go ahead.
I got it with the spleen.
No,
it's not done with the spleen part.
Well, let me see what you're experimenting with.
The same thing I want to try with a delay on the kick. They're done with a delay on the kick.
He has shoes on.
Well, I don't.
Okay.
You had high tops.
You're okay.
All right. I like that. 21, the double spleen, where's the doctor at?
Oh.
There, that was excellent. I did something similar, I come up on the top of the muscle in here with the spleen reaches up, I did what, 20, sits here, then comes back down, he got 21. Hit the opposite side, and set him up, and I kick at the same time, and this comes out.
He's the one that invented that knockout, Dr. Tim.
Yeah.
That's where I got the idea from when you were talking
That's
about
right.
it last time.
That's right.
Yeah.
I told him too much about it. I told him too much about it.
It comes out of Cento, we end Cento, and this way, and with the hands rotating, which gave me the thought about the rotation of getting the spleen point on the top and on the side. I've always done at the same time. I want to try and do a little different. I'm going to delay the kick at the ankle point.
Might get a delayed drop on it.
That's what I want to see what it happens.
Okay.
All right.
Whoa. Okay, you'll be next.
As Master Dillman says, some points are touch points, some points are hit points, and some points are rub points. And as you said before, that sometimes you think that you can't hit points in combat situations because it's one thing to do it, but when the guy's really attacking you, it makes it more impossible. But it doesn't matter. When he grabs you, and just some simple touches and rubs are setting up points. And so if I have a hold of him here and he has a hold of me, he punches me. If I'm striking him here, I'm striking him here. Whatever I'm doing, I'm setting up a point. And what I try to do is each person does a little different. I try to do it with a little feeling and technique in that when that person attacks me, if he attacks me, and he attacks, and I go to set him up, I'll try to make it so it's more realistic, and if it moves a little bit, I'll make all my points light touch. So I'm not going to hurt him. but even when he's doing it, if I get up, I can do it like that. I don't have to do too much.
That's good.
Before, it was always the block and the punch, and it's given it such a more in-depth thing where you can really look into it and go into the full, make the techniques really work. Where before, you're blocking them, now it's just little touches, and you put the person out. It makes it so much more enjoyable, and that it does. Do it one time, and the person believes you. There's no unbelievers when it comes to pressure points.
Very good.
Thank you.
Snap the knee, turn around, and chop. My eye after that is feet grabs. Chop up here in the stomach, go down to the kidney, and then come back on a fire point back to the front. Now I can't do all of that for his sake, so I just do one side of it. But I noticed that when I did it before, the guy fell this way, I could grab the head, do the X block, as Dylan shows, or the X on the leg, sweep the leg out, turn like that. So I'll just do the here, back and front, so he grabs.
That's good.
You go like this. There's a foot move, but I'm going to leave that out. And you also got kusenku, like this. Okay? Who we're going to be striking is pericardial over here, the large intestine. We're going to strike this real light because we're dealing with fire. Like that. So let's say he was going to go choke me like this. I would take this hand, manipulate it, let one of them go, come over here and strike it, and come in here and hit your large intestine. Let's say if he grabbed me, maybe I'm going to manipulate his hand and I have it here, and that's where we're looking at. We're going to go. What we taking, we got Nahanchi, and then I'm taking it as I grapple him.
Yep.
I'm looking over here, it might be mapping out what
Yep.
I'm striking.
Yep.
That's the strike.
Right.
Large intestine.
Very good.
Okay? So he comes up here, I'll manipulate this. Come in here, we'll hit it real light. Whoa. Yeah.
Always make sure we have catchers. Whenever you practice this, first of all, if you've hit somebody in the head, we don't keep re-hitting them. Because you might have fired some electricity. Maybe they didn't pass out. We don't keep hitting them. You can cause damage. And we always make sure we have catchers. Because they can fall down and injure themselves. I mean, some of them even, if they're not out deep, they're like this, hazy, going to the floor, and they have no control. So we always make sure we have catchers.
Okay, this is Mark Turner. He's one of my students. He's worked with me a long, long time. And he asked me yesterday, can I do a knockout? I said, well, he hadn't tried one in quite a while. I said, well, maybe we'll see about it. He has never knocked you out. So what are you going to do? I'm just asking.
Don't be nervous, just take your time.
Relax. Send the energies through and go.
Don't want anybody injured, so you concentrate on him.
Just grab him.
Whoa, get him going, get him going. Get out there and go. Boy, that guy's out. No, you feel like Superman.
The one that I do is from Master Presas style. And I worked out for myself, and I thought it was so simple when I worked it out, and come to find out that...
I was amazed.
Yeah. So other people have a hard time getting it to work, and I still don't know why. But it's from the single Wally motion that Master Presas makes his hand go high and then turn low, and the other hand come high. And it's a patty cake drill that I teach my students.
I think they're not cutting into lung one in front of the muscle. Same as I explained on the neck. When I see people doing it that don't work, they hit the muscle, and they got to do what you do and cut in front of that muscle.
And I think what will make that work, what I think is happening, and I'll tell everyone here, so the secret will be out. But the key is to push the arm down, and it opens up. It will open up the shoulder, so the muscle will hit. So I'll go through it slow. If someone will reach out or strike out, and when the single sin Wally comes here, and I parry the arm down this way, and at the same time the other hand comes back up. So I need to like push this down, and the other hand will come back up this way. Okay, so it looks like this. I'll come here.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit on the lung meridian to triple one.
You can reach up there.
Need a ladder.
Whoa! She's trotting behind her. He's on his way to the floor. She's trotting. And that was good. I'd hear it for the next year. He'd be crying.
Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm from the Bob Golden School of Height. Since I'm shorter, I have to unbalance somebody. And we use this if he grabs. And actually, Mr. Dillman was talking about this earlier. And I got this from Tom Countryman. And when he pulls me in, I have to step off.
Explain.
I'm going to use cat stance as to unbalance him. When he pulls in, I step off 45, and I just bump. That brings him in this position here. So now, after I go to cat stance, my hands can come in and then strike.
It's from Kata Chinto, and he's using the knee stance. Knee out of the stance to attack.
So again, once he pulls in, my hands are going to be here first, which helps set him up here. When he pulls in, I step, I put him in this position, I catch, he's a little off, so I may change, I just push him here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Push, one hand. Everybody knows you can take out like this, right? And catch the points on the hand. Just gonna tap in the thigh, right behind it. Good. So you're gonna push, stretch.
Need to be a little harder. That's good. You got it. A little harder. Right?
And right here beside the nose, on the eyebrows, and here on the head. And we're just gonna go. It just puts him to sleep real easy. As you can see, he just goes in. Yeah. In a single point. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to activate this nerve that runs up alongside the jaw, and then I'm going to palm it in a certain direction. And what I do
Keep your jaw together.
is just tap it. Pretty much.
Oh. Pretty good. Yep, that's good. That's good. I like it.
Just a palm strike to there. But what we do is we hit one here, two there, and three there. An example of a body shot on 2 pressure points on stomach 17 or 60. And stomach 20 right here. We can go here, and here.
Get back on that. Listen, this side, you see, he was out.
Okay, he's gonna push me or grab me. Everything I do is from the push. Okay, he's coming at me. I've got to put the lung point up and down.
Whoa,
okay. Okay. I like to go down on the pec and then just hit bladder point. He's grabbing me again. Okay, I come down here. Okay, got it? Good. block, right? What am I gonna block? Again, I do everything from a grab or a push. I feel like he's gotta have his hands on me. I'm gonna come down on the lung point, reach around, okay, just like that. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
You kind of a hook and punch. Could have been this guy grab here. Now, if you've seen Mr. Dillman's tapes for this one, where he's explaining for this, stretch this nerve on this side. For this move, what we do on this one, he's grabbed me, and I'll start to raise up, and if he starts to resist, I just come back here, block. Great.
It's the same move since Dylan did, but it's another interpretation. Go along well with what we've been doing on wrist grabs. He's going to grab my wrist, drop back, cut up on these bicep points, and come back here on the back head, either on the back here or back here.
Too hard of a head.
Pep.
Bring it back, Mike.
Grab, he'll resist, the upward raise, and whenever he resists, I'll strike back. So he'll resist.
That's a good one. That was a very light touch. That's good. Keep your jaw together and be light on that palm.
Middle, good.
You concentrate on him. Don't look at me.
style. We will put it back. Because everyone's head is rounded, there's a break right here. When you grab at someone's head, you will roll to there anyway. Or if I grab with this hand, I will probably roll and lock into there. There's actually 4 pressure points there. If you could really manipulate all 4, which is almost impossible because that's why the head's probably shaped that way and your hands couldn't get at them. If you get to all 4, you could create a knockout or some damage right there, but you can't. Your hand will either roll this way or roll this way. Those pressure points do connect with the optic nerve. You will see if I do this to somebody really hard, they'll be blinking, their eyes will water, and or even get bloodshot. If you do it real hard, the eyes go right to bloodshot. And we use these for control points when we grab somebody. A lot of moves in the katas that go like this, just because it's a fist, doesn't mean I couldn't be grabbing the point and letting the knuckles go into those points. So I would let the knuckles here torque into those points to put the person down. And naturally, in a self-defense situation, if a person has hair that's even questionable, you would not use that move. I mean, it's that simple. Every one of the pressure points that I teach you, as we get into the others in the body, if I tell you what to look for in the person. If the person's got a big neck, vulnerable. Big jaw, vulnerable. Big forehead, high forehead, vulnerability. So you really go for the vulnerable spots, and not all pressure points work on everybody. However, with pressure points, you immediately turn whatever a lot of martial artists were teaching into a better technique by using the pressure points. Because the chop on the neck, for instance, if I go around and chop you on the neck, that's 20% effective. 20%, if every school teaches these chops and chop, and I'm going to chop the guy in the neck, but when you apply the pressure points, it immediately becomes 80% effective. If you apply the pressure points by hitting the arm, that most of you know about that, but then can grab or squeeze the arm and chop, it becomes 100% effective. So that's how the pressure points, we try to make everything 100% effective. There will be some people that if I show you a pressure point, 8 out of 10 people are going to jump or fall or go with it. And there'll be, one of those people that'll go real easy, easier than the other 8. And there'll be one that'll be a little harder than all the other 9. And that's what we call the bell curve in pressure points. But if I tap a guy on a pressure point, and I even see the slightest miss or hesitation, he's going to catch another pressure point. It's going to be one continuous motion, and the whole advanced part of this art is to be able to catch several pressure points at once. All of these moves are hidden and contained within the katas. The katas in the original early forms teach you the angle and direction to attack pressure point. They will teach you the angle and direction. So there's all the weird moves in kata that will get more understanding as you get more involved in this. And as we go through the day, if you have any questions from some of your kata, you ask me, and then we'll get right into it. Those of you that do moves like this, or any high moves in your kata, or even have a high move with a hand coming down in a kata, this is a particular move that's out of Basai and several other katas where the hands will shoot out, and then they will come down like that. And a lot of people do that move. How many people do that kind of a move? Do you do that move at all? Yes. And have you been to my seminars before? Okay, so you know it's not blocking and grabbing. A lot of people understand that move as blocking and coming down and hitting the man in the rib cage. A lot of people, the explanation I heard for 20 years was he's grabbing or punching, and I'm doing this. And then I'm hitting him in the ribs. And you tighten up your ribs. I can hit him in the ribs all day long, and I'm not going to injure him. Because the ribs are here, and the nerves are up underneath the ribs. So this is not the angle and direction to hurt the ribs. This is. So if I tap him up that way, then we're going to break a rib or do damage to a rib. The nerves are underneath the ribs. And a lot of low moves coming up can be aimed at the ribs, but none of the ones coming down are. And this particular move, you're catching these pressure points right here. Now again, if this guy has nice vulnerable pressure points for that, we can get him down with it, but his hair is too short to grab, so I would not use the pressure point out in the street. we would hit him with something else. You I would, you I would, you I would. That don't mean go cut your hair, you I would. That don't mean go cut your hair, it doesn't mean that. It just, the minute I see thinning hair, I wouldn't use that pressure point. You're gonna fiddle or find the points. If the man with you is short-haired and you can't get it, you can do exactly what I did here. Make these knuckles, come 1/3 back to here, hold the head, no other pressure points involved, and give a rub and see if his legs do not give, they will give from under him. You can go the other side and find the same pressure point, and then you can find the one right, it's actually the round of the ear aims at it. The round of the ear aims right to here, where my fingertips are, and you can catch him like that and put him anywhere you want for control. I'll tell you how pressure points are. He's particularly weak because he has thick hair. So I'm saying the thicker the hair, the easier it is to do the pressure points. And he doesn't have to have hair to do that. If he's got hair, then it lets you lock like a vice that he can't get away if you get into pressure points. Those particular pressure points, the pressure points here, 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 and here, release the neck. So you have to watch, if you grab the hair, how fast you do this, or you can cause a little whiplash or neck injury. We've had some people wake up the next day with a stiff neck, and it came from somebody being a little too anxious at a seminar, so we don't want that to happen. You just get and see that you can grab, and see that you get into the point, and see if it doesn't do this, and you have to watch, because when you torque, it releases the neck muscle. It'll release it to actually break or do damage to the neck. And I just thought I'd tell you that because the true meaning of that move in kata is a person that has grabbed you. And what I'm going to tell you next is, you're vulnerable for that pressure point because the skull has the little tiny nerves come through at that spot, and you're vulnerable standing at that pressure point without doing anything. But you are more vulnerable. It hurts you more if this guy reaches out to grab me, and especially if he grabs and wants to like give me this, he's actually more vulnerable at here and here than he was when I left him alone. Because and you will see his eyes blinking. If you watch the eyes, you'll see the eyes blink. You'll even see the water or get bloodshot if I do it fast and hard. When a person reaches out to grab you, he is stretching the muscle here and here, and even though it doesn't do much, it pulls. The cranial nerves sit on you like a crown, and it just gives them, just pulls them all tight. So in a lot of cases, when you do nerve damage or attacking, it's going to hurt the person. In fact, I can show you that in medical books. It will hurt the person more if you can get the nerve straight. Those of you that were going around trying to do the knockout I do on the arm or hit people on the arm, were having the arm at a bend. There was some kind of a bend. And the real secret to that is this with the strike. That with the strike. So that you get it straight and you attack the nerve. When the arm is straight and the nerve is straight, it goes all the way to source. Any bend, it can cut off the pain along that pathway. Any relaxation, it can cut off the pain. So if you're working informally with somebody, the nerve that you're tapping here or doing here doesn't hurt as much if he has this bend or give play in the nerve. The nerve is like a little string in there. I want to do that to play it like a guitar string. I can't play a guitar string if it's loose. I don't want to play a nerve if it's loose. Usually in combat, you don't have to worry about that because the nerve will be stretched when he tries to strike you. It'll be stretched, or the muscles will tighten up if he tries to grab you and pull you. So anything he does, he will tighten the arm. The minute he tightens muscle, that hurts the nerve more. Okay? You're going to pair off. I want you to do that. I want you to find this. If you do have somebody with longer hair, don't get all carried away. Just place your hand. And then go like that and just get right to the spot and go like that and see if you got it. If you don't, see if you get it over here. If you would grab somebody in a combat situation and not be near the spot, you would get right in on it by doing this, right around, and it'll come right in on that spot at one point, so that you don't miss it, because you could miss the spot. First time I grabbed him, I wasn't on it. But what I did was that. I covered a big area and made sure I got to the spot. So grab somebody in a combat situation, and you don't think you're on it. You just torque and do that and take the head at the same time. That movement into kata that goes like this and goes like that is the person grabbing you and you grabbing him, and this means that you can grab him with either hand. And had I grabbed him with the hair, he's just going to go along with it now because he's not hair, but his head would go like that. My strikes come like that all at the same time. Very deadly or dangerous move because I have nerves from this quadrant or side of the head, and I'm striking over on this side. It's not recommended ever to tap somebody on the nerves on this side of the head and then over on this side hit them to see what's going to happen. Because of the crisscross of the electricity, there is a chance of injury and or even death, actually, if you really struck away. So when somebody grabs you, you grab him, and you put him right here and you're striking the head, you're not at the ribs at all. Hair off and try finding both sets. The set here, right here, and here, then here, then here. Everybody try that.
This is stretch too.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's what it's for. Oh, that's what I'm stretch. Is lacking hair here, it means he's lacking energy there. That's the way the Chinese would look at that. There's a lack of energy in that area. But he becomes more vulnerable here, and especially if he has a thick-haired person, and it's bald and nice hair here, these points pick up the slack and it hurts him more. That's why you feel it. You have nice head of hair, and he didn't feel it too much here, but if you look, it's really thin up top. but he feels, but this, he'll be more vulnerable to that. You see, and look at the eyes. You see the eyes immediately go to red and bloodshot. You have to do it with meaning. I don't want you doing it on each other here. With too much meaning, you find it. That's the idea of practicing the kata, though. Every time I go like this, I know why I'm doing that move in the kata. In other words, a man explained to me, said to me, you're really bringing the kata alive. We're putting life in the kata. Every move in the kata that this...
The Japanese variation on acupuncture, which uses the pressure of thumbs rather than needles to cure its patients. Shorinji Kempo is maintaining the ancient tradition of combining the functions of its masters so that they are doctors as well as fighters. In addition to studying the pressure points of shiatsu, the students are also taught the manipulation of bones and muscles. This is similar to the techniques practiced in the West by osteopaths.
前も私説明したと思う比喩のこれは頸椎の肩の下の方のこれからなっている。
Since the students practice so violently, they are constantly causing one another minor damage.
側の方から先を押してくださいな。あと乳葉後突起その部分から下へずっと押して。 欠盆まで押してもらう。これが一緒です。なぜか。
These are techniques that can be used on anybody who needs help. They are general medical treatments.
はい、はい、吐きます。はい、肩を出して。責任問題にならんわけ。
The same knowledge of the body that heals it can also be used to attack it.
時にはそれが中風になる。これ中風ももちろん痛いわけ。ね。だけど中風をかけて力を打ったんですよ。気管 ね、その時にこの下がってきたわけね。
Just the pressure of Master Bando's thumb is enough to incapacitate a strong man.
その周囲への攻め方っていうのを今日一つやってもらいたい。だから何分大きいこの外人さんでも一緒です。この大きい人に我々はこの持っていく必要ないな。下の位置攻めたらいいんやけども、まあ一応3個まで持っていく。ごめん。だけどみやみやたらに後ろに向けてこの大きい右を押してたしなんかこれはしとるわけ。角度が違うわけね。だからやっぱり当てるのも要素も一緒。ね、角度をちょっと。
This is the secret knowledge shared by masters in India, China and Japan and taught only to the very advanced students. It is based on the acupuncture points that are not used in healing techniques. They can be used to make an extremely simple hold very effective. When Master Bando only applies pressure to the student's wrist, it has no effect. But when he presses on the exact location of a vital point with one of his fingers, the student cannot resist.
フロアの飛び方を一回やってみてください。はい。
The vital points can only be used by very skilled people, since they require great precision to be effective. As part of their training, Master Bando also teaches the students how to revive people who are unconscious. As he is a thorough and conscientious teacher, he first renders a student unconscious. These resuscitations are achieved by using the creative medical shiatsu techniques. It's important for the students to learn them since very dangerous accidents can happen while people are practicing. If the student is in charge of a dojo, then injuries are his responsibility.
Thank you.
Master Bando demonstrates how easy it is to knock someone out using a vital point. The blow was not powerful. Its effect comes from the precision he used to strike the exact point. Although he is skilled enough to use these techniques on trained students, they are extremely dangerous. So much so that he would not even let them practice on each other.
今は後ろ行きましたからね。腕なんか組んだりしてるの場合こうして。これは人形だわけ。これな。落ち着いて冷静沈着にする。やりました。後で首を入れます。はい。人間とかスリとってね、そのままの位置を今のは私がしたのはね、これを塗るとね、だけど硬いね、その三日月とかね、だけどこの人もっと違うのがでかいでしょ。ね。またこんな飛ぶはずなんで、水泳でいたってあの人みたいに使い取りしてるの到底ダメやから。だけどこの風刺とかね、ふっとこの部分な、それからパーン叩くんだよ。な。 そういうように二段構えでいったり、ただエラーの癖が大きいみたいなじゃないで、あの人みたいな大きいとビビる必要ない。まあ、それで金手蹴ったりしたらな、まだもうよその国の人が家庭葬儀が起こったら困るから。
Now, I know a few of you here are trained in martial arts. Do not try this stuff. Okay? This is based on acupuncture. What you're doing is you're working on certain parts of the body, trying to have your physique. In here, nothing he can do with it. That is activating one point. Lock in the wrist. I'm on the point. It will not work unless I use the angle and direction. Then it works very well. Okay? Now, if I work one point, I call pain. Okay? Cruciating pain. That is in one point. If I activate another nerve using two, okay, that causes the pain to meet in the middle. Now, if I use 3 points, the person will pass out. If I activate 4 points, the person will pass out. But a major organ in the body will stop. There's only a 90% chance of you bringing him back, provided you know what you're doing. If I activate 5 points, he will drop dead on the spot. There is no bringing him back. That's how serious this stuff is. If you try and do what I'm going to show on a person and you bring him back, that does not mean that that person will not get sick. You've got to know your points. So, what we do is, okay, Mick, you come from the first one. All right, Kevin. All right, what we're going to do is, we're going to activate 3 points. We're going to go for a knockout. Now, there's 3 types of knockout. There's a technical knockout, where you hit the person, his hands come down, he can't defend himself. There's nothing he can do. You see it in boxing, okay? The second one is a motion knockout, where the legs buckle, the person goes down, he's not unconscious, but there's nothing he can do, okay? And the third one then is totally unconscious. I do not like putting people totally unconscious, because you put someone that deep, that's the closest he's ever going to be to death. I don't like doing it that way. So what we're going to do is a motor walk knockout, okay? So we're going to give him one of these techniques, all right? You can tap it here and there, okay? He should buckle, all right? Kevin will catch him, because he's no control over it. Sit him down, and I'll bring him around. Okay? All right, put your feet together. The reason you put your feet together is when the person falls, he's no control, he doesn't hurt his hip. All right? Just from here. I go to grab, striking the arm down, tightening the shoulder. Now, you saw me doing that, that was 3 points. I was just hitting 1 point here. Now, that 1 point, there's actually 3 points on it. Okay? So this is why it is so dangerous. You come along and hit 2 points, the guy will pass out. There's only 3 points here, 2 points there that you hit. That's 5 points. Okay, so you really want to understand the points of the body. Now, it's no good just hitting the point. I'll hit it here now and he walks it down. That's on the foot. Bang on. The angle and direction have got to be perfect. Okay, so you're going to grab, right? I'll take it down and I'll move in there. Right? Okay? Straight. No, straight there. Right. No. Minutes, the pain would go. I'd go on and hit another spot. He'll pass out. He is active. The reason I'm not knocking teeth out is the poor guy is probably an awful lot this evening. I've been hitting him on so many points to the body. He's very active. I don't know which point I've worked. So if I try knocking him out, I could do an awful lot of damage. Alright? So, let's move to do lock here, I'm moving into there. So hook punch, lock it from here, moving in there. Okay, hook punch, lock. Alright, take them. The reason I keep checking the eyes, when you put someone out, the eyes roll in the head and become dilated. And you can tell how deep the person has gone out. Alright? Okay, good. Okay. The next technique I'm going to use is a chain reaction. So if he goes to grab me, okay, I'll hit 1 point, which weakens another point. I'll hit that, and then I'm going to hit another point. I hit this one, makes that one more potent, makes that one more potent, and that one is going to take him out. Okay, so if you go to that, strike it here, there, and I'll go for it. Okay, just do one more time. Make sure it's yours. Okay. round of applause for the guy.